Welcome to the Art of Classiness podcast, a show where we redefine what it means to be a classy lady, and sometimes it's messy. I'm Robin.
And I'm Deborah, two friends turned classy ladies who are here to discuss life's ups and downs, navigating the complexities of adulthood, and how the gift of friendship is essential to belonging.
Today we're back with everyone's favorite drama fix, another Am I the Asshole round, where we judge strangers on the internet so you don't have to feel bad about it.
We've got 4 wild ones: exes in crisis, creepy sons, boundary-breaking besties, and the ultimate can I crash at yours entitlement. Buckle up, we're deciding who's classy, who's crass, and who's just plain chaotic.
So follow along, give us your feedback, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
What's up, classy ladies and gentlemen? Robin, how's it going?
It's going well. This week was Seth's birthday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was on Wednesday.
Happy birthday, podcast Poppy.
Yes, my little Sagittarius.
Aw.
Which apparently Sagittarius and Taurus is a great combo. We just learned that 2 of our couple friends is the same. One person is Taurus and one is Sagittarius, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was able to surprise him with some new friends that we've made in town. Everybody met at this wine bar, and he thought it was just going to be me and him. They were there.
Oh, nice.
Surprise. And then we went to a really nice dinner, just me and him. And yeah, just had a really nice day celebrating him. And today, his whole family gets in.
Oh.
So we're preparing for that. We're in full-on holiday mode.
Mm-hmm.
That's me.
Exciting.
Yeah. It should be a fun week. Seth bought me a Nintendo Switch for Christmas.
Oh, fun.
And so I'm excited to play like Mario Kart and stuff with his brothers. It'd be good.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
We'll just be like kids again.
Yes. In my last relationship, they had like an old school Nintendo, like the original Nintendo. And I used to play with his son all the time. And I would just go right back into childhood mode.
Yeah.
Like I would just sit and play, like just show him all the tips and tricks of Super Mario Brother. And I wouldn't do anything. I would just be like, can I get more snacks? Like call for like more food and like more beverages and just kick my feet up and just revert to like little 8-year-old me. And I loved it so much.
We actually bought they have a Sega Genesis
Sega
game card that has all the old school Sega games. And Seth was playing Sonic for hours last night.
Oh my God.
And the old school games, like you only have certain number of lives and then you have to start all the way over.
Kids today, they really don't get it.
They don't get
know
it.
The heartache of getting to the last level, the last board, and running out of lives and having to start all the way over again.
I never beat Sonic. I don't think I made it past like level 3 or 4.
I don't quite remember what the last level was, but I do remember beating it and being so sad at how short-lived that satisfaction was. You know, it's like you did it and then it was like,
you suffered through so much for so long.
But yeah, like what do we do now? And it's like you didn't want to play it again because it just didn't seem to have the same punch, you know? And you're like, oh no, this is such a fleeting feeling of joy. And it's just a revelation of like, wait, hold on, what did I work for? But I loved Sega. That was like one of the first gaming systems that we got.
Sega.
Oh, so great. Love it.
So how are you?
I'm great. It's a holiday break for my boys. And so I have them for the first half and then their dad has them for the second half. So just trying to plan some fun things to do with the, short time that I have them and the overlap of the days off that I have because I don't always have them when I don't work.
Right.
So trying to make the most of it through some of the chaoticness of the holiday season. And they have friends that they want to spend time with. And obviously I still have things I need to do. So just trying to plan a few fun things that we can get done this week and still celebrate some of the holiday fare. But I'm just like really happy to spend some extra time with them. I just feel like I haven't been able to. I've been so busy and I was traveling last week. So it's just always nice. And I just felt so bad. Like my oldest son, I always say like he's on the edge of apathy. You know, he's 11, he's about to be 12. It's like Christmas season highs like just didn't hit as much this year. You know, like we did the Trail of Lights at the zoo and I could just tell like he's just about to turn that corner where
everything is lame.
Everything is lame.
I'm too cool for this.
Yes. And like today he like came into my office. He's like, how was work? What'd you do? Like wanting to talk. And I was like, oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. I'm about to go into a meeting. And I just felt like that, you know, the cats in the cradle and the silver spoons, like that one song. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to turn him away when he like actually wants to talk to me. So I'm just really trying to make a conscious effort to spend intentional time with them and pray that they don't always see me as like this really stressed out workaholic that I've kind of been the last month. But
well, and remember, they got you for over a year.
Yeah, they had a lot of time with me.
Like full on.
Yes.
And yeah, this is an adjustment and it's a bit of a seesaw.
Yeah.
You know, I think it'll eventually balance out, but you did get to spend a lot of time with them over the last year.
That is true. Got to make the moments count when you have them, you know?
Yes. You're a great mom.
Oh, thank you. All right. Well, let's just dive right in today. I'm excited to get into this new batch of Am I the Asshole stories where we read it and we are the judge, jury, and executioner on are they the asshole?
Executioner.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to slice and dice them today.
There's some juicy stuff.
Juicy stuff, some bad decisions, consequential decisions.
Yeah. Let's just get into it.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. Okay. Am I the asshole to my girlfriend for allowing my ex to stay at mine and for driving her 7 hours to her parents' home? I'm 23. I broke up with my ex, 25, 2 years ago. I'm with my current girlfriend, 27, for over a year. I was out with some lads, and I saw my ex with her new boyfriend. He was shoving her and called her a slag and other stuff. I went over and broke it up and took her back to mine. I live with 3 mates, so I wasn't alone with her. I let her sleep in my bed and I slept on the couch. I did tell my girlfriend and she didn't really react. That's a bad sign.
Yeah, silence is not a good sign.
She is a mess. Her whole life is a mess, not just her relationship. I told my ex I was taking her home to her parents. She didn't really argue. It was a 7-hour journey. Her dad thanked me, and he took me out for a meal to chat to me. He handed me a couple of hundreds for doing what I did. He said, maybe get a hotel and don't do the full 7 hours back down this evening. I did get a hotel. When I came back, my girlfriend, in front of my mates and hers, asked, why did you feel the need to help her? She's not your responsibility. I said if it was one of my sisters, I'd want their ex to do it. She was really angry and she asked, did I cheat? I said, no. She said, how can I believe you? I said, let's talk about it later in private. She kept talking, saying why break up with her if you were just going to run back to her. One of my mates spoke up and said that I had slept on the couch. She said men will stick together. She asked me what I would think if she went on a romantic trip with her ex. I said it wasn't a romantic trip and that it'd be sick if she fucked her vulnerable ex. She stormed out saying I had accused her of being a predator. She hasn't spoken to me in a couple of days since. Was I the asshole for how I helped my ex? Her parents have a lot on, that's why I drove her up rather than expecting them to come down. A user told me to add that her father was very good to me as a kid. He looked out for me, let me tag along to jobs, stuff like that. Wow.
Wow. Where to begin?
There's some good things that he did here. You know, sounds like she was in an abusive relationship. He removed her from that situation. It sounds like he's known her for a really long time outside of them dating. Like he has a history with her parents from when he was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I understand why his girlfriend is mad. Like, one of the things that he could have done to remedy all of this was invite her to come with you.
Or just maybe keep her more abreast of the situation as things were unfolding, like.
He kind of did.
The staying the night there would, if I'm the girlfriend back at home, staying the night there, although logically makes sense, right? Like you're going to drive 14 hours in a 24-hour period. Like that is a lot. It's probably unsafe for you to put that many miles on in one day. I would have expected and maybe he did and just didn't include it, but give me a phone call. Let's do a FaceTime. Let me know, share your location, I don't know if he is not maybe clued in that she has trust issues, which she clearly does, whether it is from this relationship or other relationships, they have not built this very strong foundation of trust. And if he's not clued into that from the jump and just assumes these things are okay, there's obviously deeper issues probably going on. I don't know.
Regardless, I don't think it was okay that she blew up at him in public in front of other people. That's a little messy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In front of his friends and hers is definitely don't bring other people into that.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what that was going to accomplish.
Yeah. I can't say that I would be happy with, Seth doing something like that, but we have established trust, right? So I trust him not to do something like that. If I were to imagine one of my past relationships, I would be freaking out like her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's an asshole. I just think there were some things that he could have been better at to prevent this blow up. But maybe the blow up would have happened no matter what he tried to do.
Right. They've obviously been in each other's lives for a long time. When you're in that kind of situation, sometimes your actions have a muscle memory, right? You want to protect the people that you were close to. So I think stepping in that situation and removing her from what is obviously a toxic and dangerous situation to be in, not the asshole there.
Yeah.
Bringing her back to his place, murky. Maybe I would have said, is there a friend we can call? Who else can come pick you up?
Yeah.
Is your sister around? Where are your friends here? Let's bring somebody else to the situation.
Yeah, he didn't need to take over completely like that.
No.
I'm going to get this taken care of for you. I think you need to go home. That's not your job anymore.
Yes, I think where he did overstep was he did assume boyfriend responsibilities when he should have just been the transitional person.
Yeah.
I'm going to remove you from the situation and pass you off to someone else who's going to take it from here, right?
And maybe even call her parents for her.
Right.
Just to let them know what happened. Hey, I think it might be a good idea for her to come stay with y'all for a while, but, give her a call and step away.
Yeah. Did she absolutely need to go there the next day? Was it such an emergency situation that he needed to swoop in and travel across the country for her to be with her parents?
Yeah.
He didn't really say, but it sounds to me like he just swooped in too much into that old role of being a protector.
He said her life was a mess, but he didn't say in what way.
Right. And again, he might have just sort of over-inserted himself back into her life. So I think those are very valid reasons for the girlfriend to be upset because in doing that, he abandoned her.
Yeah.
He wasn't home with his girlfriend.
Keeping her apprised doesn't mean that you're being considerate of her feelings.
No. And like you said, just because she didn't say anything does not mean she's cool with it.
Yeah.
At all.
To say she didn't really respond, that, my friend, is a huge indicator that something is wrong.
That is actually a response.
Yes. Yes.
A pretty big one,
Also, that's a phone call. That's not a text.
No, absolutely not. You got to get on the phone and explain the situation. Or you got to say, can you please come over here? Can you get over here so that you can be, I don't know. I just think that he reverted back into boyfriend territory and he didn't cheat. And I don't even think that I would qualify this as even an emotional cheating situation.
No.
But he did assume the responsibilities of a boyfriend, in my opinion, and that's deeply hurtful.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's an asshole, but I do think he's an idiot.
Boys are dum-dums.
Boys are dum-dums. He meant well, but this is why nice guys finish last, is because they do dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they do dumb shit like this.
Mm-hmm.
And they just think they're just doing nice things. It's like, no, you're kind of just doing dumb shit.
In what world did you imagine that it was okay to just text me that your ex-girlfriend was going to stay the night at your house?
Yeah.
And then you're going to drive her 7 hours to her parents.
And then stay up there a night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In what world did you think I wouldn't be upset?
Right. I think she blew up at an inappropriate time, but...
Absolutely. I agree with that.
I'm getting madder and madder the more we talk about this. I'm going from idiot to asshole.
I mean, yeah. He's not an asshole in the sense that he got her out of a dangerous situation.
No.
I do think he's kind of an asshole for the way he handled things with his girlfriend. She should be the priority.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Declared.
Okay. Am I the asshole for supporting my best friend and telling him to press charges against my son for stalking his daughter?
Oof.
A couple of days ago, my best friend came to me angry. He showed me many pictures of my 22-year-old son messaging his 18-year-old daughter, and they went on for months. She just turned 18 a few weeks ago. This has been going on for months. She just turned 18 a few weeks ago. The last one he sent her was a dick pic. And she finally showed her dad, and he lost it. I apologized and said I had absolutely no clue about it. My son lives hours away now. He told me he wants to go to the police about this, and I told him absolutely, and that I'd have done the same thing he did and reported my son. I still don't really know what's going to happen now, but whatever happens, it's my son's fault. My son tried saying it's not him, but she had taken screenshots and recorded the screen videos, and it's definitely his account. Even the dick pic is his. He has a little tattoo on his hand, and it's there. I'm fucking disappointed and angry at him right now, and I don't want to support him at all in this. I apologized to this girl, and she told me it's not my problem. My wife is upset at this. She's horrified at what he did, and she too apologized to the girl, but she says we shouldn't have involved the police and that I should support him because he's our son. I asked her if one of her friend's sons did that to one of our 3 girls, if she wouldn't go to the police, and she gets quiet. But she's still insisting that I should help him avoid any major trouble because it'll ruin his future. And I say he ruined it himself. And honestly, my friend is a saint because if some bastard did that to one of my daughters, I'd have sent him to the hospital, not the police. But am I somehow the asshole for not supporting my son at all?
Man, this right here just shows how much progress has been made in this area.
Oh my God, so much.
Like, mad props to this dad.
Yeah.
Because the son does need consequences.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, asking his wife that question, like, what would you do if someone's kid that you know did this to our daughters? Like,
right.
It's sick. It's messed up, and they need to know you can't be doing that shit.
Right. For real. For real.
And I want to mess up his future. Fuck off.
100%. And as if it wouldn't be jarring to someone to receive that, as if that might not have an impact on the person receiving that. That is insane to me that as a mother, you could be completely turning a blind eye to something that could potentially and statistically might happen to one of your 3 girls as well.
Yeah. I had an experience when I was a kid. I was like, I don't know, 10 or 11. And I went to my friend's house around the corner who had a basketball goal because I like to go over there to play basketball. He wasn't home. And at the same time, another kid down the street was coming by, and he was someone that we would play basketball with too, but he was 15. And so he and I were shooting hoops, and he was saying some weird stuff to me, and then like the basketball went into the bushes, and I went to get it, and he like followed me and was like, "Hey, let's go in here." And like there's like this spot that you could crawl under in the bushes. And he wanted me to touch his penis. And in that moment, my mom drove up and honked the horn.
Oh my God.
And we ran out of the bushes. And I went up, and she's like, "Come home, we're going to Nana and Papa's," because I rode my bike over. And I like sprinted to my bike because I was just trying to get out of there as fast as I could. And he like walked in front of the bike and like held it in place. And he said, "You're not going to tell anyone, are you?"
Oh my God.
And I was like, "No." And as soon as I got home, I told my mom.
Oh, good.
And she called the police, and I had to do the whole thing where, like, on camera, they handed me a doll, and they're like, "Tell us where he wanted you to touch him." My mom she wanted to press charges, and the coach and some other people were trying to convince her not to press charges because it would ruin his future. And my mom was like, "Good."
Yeah. The future of him continuing to behave like this?
Yeah. He didn't get in trouble, basically.
Oh my God.
It was really terrifying. And the idea of somebody's parents not advocating for the victim is mind-boggling.
It's so disappointing to me that the mom is the one.
Yeah. It's usually the other side. She was horrified. He did say she was horrified.
Yeah. And I understand like the tight spot that you're in, right? On one hand, you want consequences. On the other hand, you have a visceral instinct to protect your children, right? I often think about that. Like for every defendant are parents that are sitting behind their children, right? Making a decision to show up for that child or adult child in court. And a lot of people will be like, how could you stand behind someone who did something like that? And it's like, because at the end of the day, it's your child. You might not support the actions that they did, but they are your child. And, you know, maybe there's a fine line that the father can take where it's like, you know, I still love you and I want you to be rehabilitated and get the help that you need, but you need to serve the consequences for these actions.
Well, it's a grown-ass man. He's 22.
Right.
He knows better.
100%.
He's just being a fucking pervert.
You are college-aged. This person is in high school.
Also, I just saw OP made a comment saying she isn't just some teenager as well. She's my goddaughter. Not that it's okay to do that to anyone, but it's fucking disgusting. That's what he said. So.
Yeah. And I also want to point out, barely legal is still illegal. Okay? Just want to make that crystal clear. That's still illegal. So, I mean, props to this dad for really not tolerating any of that bullshit, for setting a strong example for his 3 daughters.
Yes.
Of what will not be tolerated.
And I think that also tells the daughters that, like, if something happened and they went to him, that he would believe them. Because that's also a problem.
Yeah.
Women not being believed.
Right. You have to think of all the subsequent actions that you're setting with these examples. And if they knew that they were trying to cover up this thing that their son did, I mean, exactly. They would know, oh, parents aren't a safe space. Dad is not a safe space for this. So, yeah, you have to think of what other things may happen with those decisions. So, not the asshole.
Not the asshole. It sucks.
The whole situation sucks.
Yeah, I'm sure it's very difficult for him, but he's doing the right thing.
Yeah. And I think I'm hoping that the son will pull his head out of his ass and realize what's appropriate and inappropriate, you know?
Also, it's one thing to be flirty. Just send her a picture of your fucking dick.
Hey, guys, guess what? We don't want to see it. They all look weird.
Nope. We don't want to see it.
Okay, we're good. We're good on that. Okay. So in no case do those photos ever need to be taken or sent.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know you like to see our body parts. We don't need to see yours.
Don't need to see it. Thank you. So you can avoid that altogether if you just keep it in the camera roll. Okay?
Don't even.
You don't even need to take a picture of it at all.
Yeah.
Okay? So not the asshole.
Not the asshole. Okay. Am I the asshole for distancing myself from a close friend after she crossed a boundary with my husband's brother? I, early 30s female, am part of a close friend group that's been very close for over 15 years. One of the people involved is Angela, also early 30s female. We've been friends a long time and have shared many milestones together. I'm married. Angela had interactions with my husband's brother that made me uncomfortable. They are both erratic and have temper problems. My brother-in-law has an extensive drug history in his past. They ended up making out once, and then a fight almost broke out because he wanted to fight her ex. She spoke to me a few days later and said she wouldn't pursue anything. I spoke to Angela in person and told her clearly that it made me uncomfortable, and I explained why. I did not explicitly say the word no, but I thought my discomfort was obvious. I also live in the same house as my brother-in-law. I told her to choose me or him. And I told him I gave her that ultimatum, and now he won't speak to me. After that conversation, Angela continued behavior that relied on the fact that I hadn't explicitly said no, saying she assumed things were okay. When I brought it up again, she said she didn't understand it was a hard boundary because I hadn't directly said no and framed it as a misunderstanding. Since I cut back from her, she's speaking to him again, and they are even considering marriage. It's weird for me to have my best friend be a part of my married life and that side of my family. My husband also isn't okay with this. Since then, I've pulled back. I haven't fully cut her off, but I've distanced myself and skipped events, including her birthday, because it feels wrong to pretend everything is fine when I don't feel my boundary was truly respected or understood. Some friends think I should move on because she apologized and nothing physical happened. Others think it's reasonable to step back when trust has been affected. So, am I the asshole? Wait, nothing physical happened, but they're talking about marriage?
I don't think she understands what boundaries mean.
Yeah, you telling someone that you don't want them dating somebody else, that's not a boundary. It has nothing to do with you.
I'm like the whole time thinking, what part of this were you involved in again?
Yeah.
Your friend and your husband's brother, so your brother-in-law. So two people in your life, and you're the, commonality. I don't understand why you wouldn't want that to happen.
It seems like they're toxic together. Because somebody asked her, please explain why you think you get the veto power over this relationship. And she said, because when there's problems or he's treating her like shit, it will be my problem.
No, it actually won't.
That is when you set a boundary. That is a boundary where you say, hey, I warned you about this. I cannot be involved. I need to protect my own marriage.
Mm-hmm.
This is you guys. You can't come to me with this. That's a fucking boundary.
Yes. Yes, you're 100% correct. The boundary isn't telling someone what they are allowed to do with their life and who they date. The boundary is how people encroach on your space. So you're absolutely right. I will not allow someone to bring that toxicity of their relationships into my life, especially if the person in your relationship is a relative of my husband. I can't have that. So I'm not going to listen to the drama about you guys. You're going to have to bring that somewhere else. That's a boundary.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to date my brother-in-law.
And she gave her an ultimatum too. Me or him. Girl.
Yeah. I mean, are you trying to make him more attractive to the friend?
Seriously.
You know what I mean? That's a good way to do it.
Oh my God.
That's a good way to do it. Especially if they're already crazy. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Just throw the wedding for them already. You know?
Let them crash and burn, okay? It's not your responsibility. It's not your problem. And just because it's your husband's side of the family and you feel like you're going to become entangled in all of this. Like, it's perfectly possible not to.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It says the brother-in-law lives with them right now. Hey, it's great you guys are dating, but you can't stay here.
Right. That's another boundary you can set.
Mm-hmm.
That has nothing to do with telling people who they can date.
Yep.
She's setting all the wrong boundaries.
Yeah. And that's how you are more likely to get the reaction that you want, is when you set proper boundaries. You're not forcing them to make a decision. You're just telling them what you won't stand for.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's great that you guys are dating, but if you're going to do that, you can't be living in this house. And then the brother-in-law might be like, oh, but I need a place to stay.
Well, I would even go as far to say, that's great that you're dating, but I don't want guests in my house. Like, I don't want your relationship in my home, right?
Yeah. You can go to her place.
Go to her place. Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So, yeah, I think you're kind of the asshole for trying to control people's lives, for making the situation more dramatic, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You're saying, oh, whenever they're together, there's drama. I feel like she's created a little bit of the drama, you know?
And this is supposed to be her best friend, but it seems like the best friend is okay with making her uncomfortable. Like, just because she didn't explicitly say no, those kinds of nuances, like you're just making excuses so that you can do what you want. She's being a bad friend to you.
Yeah.
And maybe you should be questioning this friendship. Rather than trying to control her relationship with someone else.
Right. But to blame it on, oh, I gave you an ultimatum and you crossed it is like, all right.
Ultimatums never turn out well.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, this lady is definitely the asshole.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's kind of an asshole here.
Everyone's
my
the asshole.
opinion.
And crazy.
Yeah.
Declared.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for not letting my coworkers stay at my place even though I have the space? So I, 23 female, live alone in a small 2-bedroom house. One room is mine. The other one is basically my everything room. It's my office, it's my closet, storage. Sometimes I just lay on the floor in there and stare at the ceiling when life sucks. LOL.
Oh my gosh, I do this too. I like to lay on the floor in my office.
You know? It is not a guest room. I've lived with horrible roommates before, so I worked really hard to be able to afford my own place, and I love having my space. It's literally my safe little bubble. Anyways, one of my coworkers, 25 female, got into a huge fight with her roommates and they kicked her out. She was venting at work and I felt bad and was like, that sucks, oh my God. And even sent her a few places to look at. I was trying to be helpful without inviting chaos into my life, you know? Later that night, she texted me saying, hey, I was just thinking, maybe I could just crash with you for a few weeks since you live alone and have the space. I literally got that sinking feeling in my chest. No. We're cool at work, but we've never even hung out outside of lunch breaks and complaining about our boss. She doesn't know anything about me, and I don't know her like that. Why would she live at my house? So I replied super politely, I totally get that you're going through a lot, but I really value my space and I am just not in a place where I can have somebody stay with me. Like, I was nice. Didn't ghost her, didn't ignore her, just said no.
Those are boundaries.
That is a boundary. Exactly. Next day, she's acting really weird. Then another coworker tells me she said, I let her be homeless when I have an entire room to myself. Like, girl, first of all, she's staying at her BF's place. Second of all, I pay to live alone. That's the whole point. I don't want to feel tense or uncomfortable in my own space. I don't want to tiptoe around a person I barely know, and I definitely don't want to deal with just a few weeks turning into, I'm looking, but nothing's coming through yet for 2 months, which is exactly what would happen. Now people at work are acting like I'm the bad guy. Sorry for not letting a coworker move into my apartment because she had a bad fight. IDK. I feel bad, but like also no. Am I the asshole? I just cannot fathom living with a coworker, first of all. Like an office coworker.
The audacity. Yeah, that is not your responsibility. And the fact that everyone is trying to make her feel bad, like, are you guys offering space for her?
Right. Why isn't she crashing with you? Why isn't anyone else jumping in at this opportunity?
This is so bizarre. Like, work is work.
Mm-hmm.
We are not besties. I don't know you. You don't know me. I don't owe you shit.
No, not at all.
You don't owe her anything. Like, you tried to be supportive. That's even, like, above and beyond. You don't have to do shit.
We're really glazing over the fact that she has no place to live because she got into a fight with her roommates and they kicked her out. It got to the point where they kicked her out of the place that she was living at, which also tells me she wasn't even on that lease, okay? She didn't even have a right to live where she was already living, okay? So does she have bad credit? Like what's happening with her? She seems like a hot mess express if that's something that happened and she has no backup plan.
And I don't know. I think it's really commendable for OP to be direct, and she was nice about it. She set a boundary, and you know what happens when you set a boundary and someone doesn't respond well? It means they want to walk all over you.
Mm-hmm.
They don't respect your boundaries. So if this coworker is immediately failing that test, like all the more reason to stick to your guns.
100%. Absolutely. And good for her for, like, I love that she saved up, knows what she needs, lays on her floor, like has that space to herself, knowing what you need at a young age like that at 23 and like maintaining it is such a strong trait to have that I truly commend her because it is very easy to fold in those types of situations.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't. So huge props to her.
Yeah.
In no way is she the asshole here. It's not her problem. They're not friends. They're not siblings. It's not her problem.
That's what's so crazy to me is like they're not even friends.
No.
It's fucking wild. And that this coworker said like so-and-so let me be homeless. You made yourself homeless, bitch.
Right. I'm not the one who started a fight with my roommates and got kicked out.
Yeah, this is your problem. Figure it out. Why is it on OP?
Okay, there is an update.
Oh, okay.
Update. She went to jail.
What?
Don't know what happened, but I feel horrible to say I laughed.
So did I.
Well, solves that issue. She's not homeless anymore. She's got at least one meal a day, maybe a phone call. And then she said, edit because I have to highlight my favorite comment. Go up to the people that had something to say and tell them they are horrible for not bailing her out.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Burn.
There you go. So yeah, this girl's obviously, the poster is not the asshole. This girl who keeps getting kicked out and went to jail. Yeah. Sounds like OP dodged a major bullet.
Yeah. Does everyone else still think she's an asshole?
Yeah. Anyone else want to take her in? Anyone?
Man, that would piss me off. I'm so glad I don't work in an office anymore.
I know. Good for her. Good for her.
And that's why remote work is great too.
Yeah, you don't have that problem. All right. Well, let's transition from assholes to class holes. How about that?
Sure.
It's time for our class act of the week. This is where we take turns highlighting a person, place, sometimes a parasocial relationship that just really embodies the word class. And this week, it's Robin's turn. So Robin, who's your class act of the week?
So this is a very recent story. This account that I'm following on TikTok, the girl started it specifically for this kitten that she found in Mexico. So she's been in Mexico and she found this little white kitten, was like really sick, and she took him in. And she was like, this is my cat now. And she named him Sobo. And the account is Kitty Sobo, S-O-B-O. And she started like a GoFundMe for people to donate because the cat is currently blind.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know if he'll be able to see or not. whether or not it's just part of how sick he was. And yesterday she was doing a 7-hour road trip to Mexico City for him to see a specialist. So like tons of people had donated money to help fund this kitty getting all the help that he needs. I think she lives in Canada, so she's going to be taking him back home with her. But yeah, I've just been following Sobo's little journey, and it's so cute. The videos she posts of like him like starting to feel safe and playful, and he has a little tummy now because he's been getting fed, and it's just so stinking adorable. Like I'm a sucker for people who take these poor animals in and just turn their lives around, the animals' lives around.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's been fresh on my mind. I see updates every day, and I'm just like, oh, I rewatch it. It's just really, really sweet and adorable. And I love you, Sobo, and I'm so glad you have a home now.
Oh, I love that.
I don't actually know the owner's name because the account is just for Sobo.
Yeah.
You see her in there and she talks, but I haven't seen her say her name. But yeah, she is my class act of the week. I don't know her name, but she's doing some classy shit.
Aw, well, that is classy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's finish strong with our favorite segment, Class or Crass. It's where we read a scenario and we decide, is it classy or was it crass? Are you ready for this week's?
Let's go.
Okay. Telling a friend her new hobby obsession is annoying. A close friend has gone all in on a new thing. Think CrossFit, sourdough, astrology, readings, and talks about it nonstop. You gently say, I love that you're so excited, but I need a break from the play-by-plays. Classy honest feedback or crass raining on her parade?
Okay, so immediately I, like, because I'm this person. I get...
Hyperfixations, baby.
Yes. And I'm thinking about my bedazzling face.
So great.
Which just yesterday I was thinking about how I really want to get back into that. But I don't know what someone might consider like talking about it nonstop. You know, because like I talk about it. I send pictures to my friends of my progress. Would someone consider that a play-by-play? I don't know. But I don't think it's very difficult to be supportive of your friend being obsessive over a hobby that makes them really happy and excited. Like,
you know, in my experience, sometimes it's a reflection that that person doesn't have something to be joyful over.
Yeah.
Or something to be excited over, or that they might be missing that thing in their life that just makes them like have that childhood type of fixation. Because it's so hard as you get older to feel locked in on anything new, right? We're in such like a meat sausage factory stage of our lives, you know? Wake up, work, eat, go to bed, like stress, like everybody is just kind of in the same thing. You might have like one or two things that you do that bring you joy. So when someone like gets a whole new avenue and it kind of unlocks a new personality trait or gives them something new to talk about, or maybe even brings a whole new set of friends.
Yeah.
I think it can actually make someone feel insecure or fearful, or sometimes people don't mean to, but they like blow your candle out, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Is like to say, I need a break from your play-by-plays. It's like, but aren't you my friend?
Yeah.
Don't you want to hear about something that makes me happy and I'm excited about? I don't.
Right. And here's the thing, like, I understand the reptilian response in your brain to be like, okay, I get it. You're into bedazzling, right? But I really challenge people to pause and reflect and think, why does that bother me that she's super into that? You know, why am I having that reaction? And I think if people were to take 2 more seconds then they would realize like, oh, I don't have that type of thing that I'm excited about, you know? Then you wouldn't say something like, I need a break from you talking about this, right?
Yeah.
I will say when I stopped drinking, I was very vocal about it on social media. I started doing Sober Sunday posts and people did not like it. People did not like it. People that we knew said I was talking about it too much. They wish I would just shut up about it. Coworkers would talk shit behind my back.
Wow.
Which I knew and I would think about every time I posted that it would be annoying to people. But I didn't care because it literally was saving my life. And for every 10 people who rolled their eyes, one person would message me and say, hey, I'm 1 month free of alcohol. Or, hey, I've been thinking about quitting drinking too. I still get messages when people stop drinking. They're like, just so you know, I haven't drank in 2 years. I've been meaning to reach out to you. So yeah, it's going to ruffle some people's feathers. You're going to get some people who are annoyed when you lock into something that they're now locked in on. But why not just let people be joyful, you know?
I think you make a really good point is that someone reacting that way, like they have to be unhappy in some way, shape, or form, that they're not able to just be excited for you. I don't know. I want to hear about my friends' interests and hobbies. Like,
it's not hard.
It sometimes makes me want to try it out, you know? That's how I got into climbing because one of my friends was talking about it and I was like, that sounds fun. I'm going to go do that. And now I love it.
Right.
I've been doing it for years. Like, I don't know. Don't be a hater.
The price of success, the price of joy, the price of happiness is cringe sometimes. So you just got to push through and be dorky and be nerdy. Just be cringe to get those things. But man, on the other side, it feels so good.
Yes.
Get over yourself.
Exactly. So I'm going to go with Crass. It's Crass. Don't rain on her parade.
Don't rain on that parade. It's Crass.
If you need a break, take a break.
Take a break.
Don't make plans with them for a while. I don't know.
Right. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Declared. Love it. Wow. Those stories had us going back and forth all episode, from protective exes to protective parents, boundary battles, and the sacred solo apartment. Adult life stays messy.
But that's why we're here, to unpack it all with a little humor, a lot of heart, and our favorite question. Was that classy or straight up crass?
We want to hear your verdicts. Which story shocked you the most? Who's the biggest asshole?
Send us your thoughts at artofclassiness@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram and TikTok at Art of Classiness.
Thanks for listening, and remember, classy is a state of mind.
So mind your classiness. Bye.